After I got them all burned and mineral oiled last night, I'm going to go back and I'm going to paint all the details on, or the colors, to really make them pop. I used to use a really wide brush, and I stopped mainly because I was getting paint everywhere and it seemed to not look as nice. It takes me a while longer, but I get more of the color where I want it and less of it all over like I was before. You always gotta learn, try new things. I mean, yeah, it takes me a little extra time to paint it, but the end product I think looks a lot better than when you just slap it on with a big old brush. Maybe if I was doing bigger carvings, I'd use a bigger brush, but this seems to really work out. And I cut my paints down with water. It's like a little bit so they spread a little easier. But there's a common myth about mineral oil that it will not dry. And you're right. When it sits in a jar, you can open it up and you can see it'll never dry. But when you apply it to a block of wood, it's just like mineral, like Danish oil, tung oil. It takes about 36 to 72 hours and it is dry to the touch. And if you Google it, if I remember correctly, if you Google and ask, will mineral oil dry after applied to a block of wood? I'm pretty sure it says yes, 36 to 72 hours to cure, which is what I think tung oil cures at and boiled linseed oil cures at. I mean, they are oil products. But like anything that's oil, like if you dump a bunch of oil paint onto a piece of cardboard and let it sit for a couple days, it absorbs and it dries out. Yeah, it's not going to be dry right away, but it will eventually dry out and look a lot better. And I mean, I started using mineral oil because I used to build cutting boards before I carved. And I believe it was Harvard that did a big research study on what's good to use for health reasons and food and mineral oil. You can put mineral oil in your mouth and suck on it. There's no problem with it. Tung oil is not so great. Those have other products in them. But people can use whatever they want. It's not like you have to use mineral oil. I just really enjoy it. It seems to work really well. And you can pick it up at Target for under $2, $3. And the last bottle I bought was about 2 years ago, and I think I got about this much left in the bottom of the container that I work out of. And for $3, it's like that's gotten hundreds of carvings oiled and preserved and looking really cool. Now, I mean, it doesn't have the same effects as linseed oil or tung oil, or Danish tung oil is another one where it kind of darkens the wood and gives it a patina or aged look. It's like those are things if you want, you should go for it. But if you want to experiment, or you're like me who is on a budget sometimes or is trying to get the best bang for your buck, to me that seems to be the way to go. It's just it's the way to go. I also like the smaller brush. Like I said, not splatting paint everywhere. It also helps when you're getting to places that you don't want paint. Like I don't want anything on the nose or the face. I'll paint the eyes white. But besides that, I don't want any other color on that face or nose. And when I personally use a bigger brush, I get paint everywhere. I don't necessarily like that. Also found that it helps me if I put my finger down as an anchor on a dry point or something. It gets me, seems to me in my mind to be easier. That doesn't really mean anything at this point. I mean, if you have a better way or a way that you feel more comfortable doing it, that's always the way to go. I mean, there are lots of different ways to do woodworking and carving. There is really not one correct way. If you can get the results that you're looking for, a way that you've never seen, or a way that someone says, oh, that doesn't work, that doesn't matter, because if it works for you, that's what really matters in life, is how it works for you. Not for me, not for anybody else. I mean, I'm sure my neighbors think I'm insane. They just hear me talking to nobody. I'm like, what's that guy always talking about carving to nobody? I don't think they probably don't know that I film it and talk to you all. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them at the bottom. It's like, that's always preferred. It's like, I'd like to hear from you guys. If you like it, you don't like it, you think I should try something else, you want to see me carve something, and you maybe do different colors. It's like, please reach out, say something, ask questions. It's how you learn things. It's how you get to where you want to be in life, is by asking and learning. I try to teach my sons that. Cool that how much it pops, how cool it is, just not even finished.